How browsing on computer works. Has your dog ever been so bored that even his favorite toys don't excite him anymore? Then you think to yourself, maybe he just needs a little adventure outside. So you sit down at your computer to search for dog parks and press the power button. To you, it's just a simple click, but what actually happens? Behind the scenes, your machine is waking up like a city at dawn. It's like starting a car, launching a spaceship, and assembling a pit crew all at once. The moment you press the power button, the electricity flows from your computer's power supply to the motherboard. Think of the motherboard as the computer's central highway where everything is connected. But your computer still doesn't know what to do yet. So it calls on BIOS or UFI, a tiny program built right into the motherboard. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System, or in newer machines it's called UFI, or Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Think of BIOS as a school teacher checking if the classroom is ready before the students arrive. It wakes up your keyboard, mouse, screen, and checks if the hard drive, RAM, and CPU are all connected and working. This step is called POST, the power and self-test. Once everything checks out, BIOS needs to find something more powerful to take over. That's when it looks for a boot device, like your hard drive, SSD, or even a USB stick. On that device is a special tiny program called the bootloader. This bootloader is the bridge between your hard drive and the operating system, Windows, macOS, or Linux. At this stage, the bootloader has done its job. It has found your operating system and has prepared everything it needs to start running. Now it hands over the control to the operating system itself. The operating system immediately goes back to workloading its core components, like the kernel, device drivers, and essential background services. Drivers allow the operating system to communicate and control hardware devices, while the services are small background tasks like connecting to Wi-Fi, checking for updates, or syncing your files. Once all of that is up, you're finally greeted with your login screen of your desktop, from a blank slate to a fully working computer. Ever wondered when you search online, where did these results come from? And why is this listed before this one and the other one? How does it work? The internet is a web of pages that connect to each other by hyperlinks. Search engines constantly run a program called a spider that crawls through web pages. Each time it finds a hyperlink, it follows it until it has visited every page it can find, while recording any information it might need by adding it to a special database called a search index. Now when you type dog parks, the search engine looks in each of those words in the search index to get a list of all the pages on the internet containing those words and determine the best result. Google invented the algorithm for choosing the most relevant results for a search by taking into account how many other web pages link to a given page. If lots of websites think that a web page is interesting, then it's probably the one you're looking for. So when you search for dog parks, the algorithm quickly finds and shows you the best result at the top. Alright, let's briefly summarize how everything works. When you search dog parks into the search bar, then you press enter, the search begins with the browser creating a search request and sending it through the internet to the servers of Google using the HTTPS protocol, where this request contains several pieces of information, including the search keywords, dog parks, the user's language, the approximate location from the IP address or GPS, and basic device and browser information. This data helps Google understand the context of the search before processing it. After that, Google servers receive the request. The system begins analyzing the search query. With tokenization, the phrase dog parks is broken into keywords, dogs, and parks. The server starts searching for related pages. Google searches its massive database called the search index. Next, Google's algorithm evaluates the possible results. The system compares many different factors to determine which results are the most relevant. These factors can include how closely the page matches the keywords, how far a location is from the user, ratings and reviews from other users, the popularity of a place, how complete the information is, and whether the source is trustworthy. Based on these signals, each result receives a relevance score. So now, the results are ranked from most relevant to least relevant, and the system prepares the final results. Google's server then builds a search results page. It organizes the selected information to a structured web page that can include a list of dog parks, a map showing nearby locations, ratings, addresses, and photos. The page is created using web technology such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Once the page is ready, the server sends the data back through the internet to the user's browser. The information travels as web files containing the HTML structure like text, headings, images, links, and scripts needed to display the page correctly. Finally, the browser receives the data and begins rendering the page. It reads the HTML to understand the structure, applies CSS to arrange the layout, and designs like the colors, fonts, spacing, and runs JavaScript to load interactive elements like maps, buttons, animations, or dynamic contents within a fraction of a second. The browser displays the search results on the screen. Now, thanks to that search, your dog is finally having the fun he needed.